هناك صمت يأتي حين تكف عن الأكل، ليس صمت الفراغ بل صمت الإصغاء، صمت يقول: هم يجوعون، يجوعون الأطفال من أجل كسرة خبز، هم يجوعون شعبًا ليعلمونا جميعًا ألا ننسى، لكننا لا ننسى، نحن الذاكرة التي يصعب ابتلاعها. هناك أدوية أقدم من الرصاص، وأغاني أعمق من السياسة، وأصوات لا تطلب من السماء شيئًا بل تصير سماءً. هذه هي تلك الصلوات، وهذا هو ذاك الدواء، ولد من الصمت وتغذى من النار، ويقدم بأيدي فارغة. نحن لسنا أعداء، نحن لسنا حدودًا، نحن لسنا خرائط لنقطع، نحن أنهارًا تهدم السدود، ونحن نساء لن نركع، نحن أنفاسا عزلاء تعلمت كيف تهز أصوات الدبابات. هذا الإضراب ليس احتجاجا، إنه كالنبوءة، ليس ضغطا بل هو الحرب مقلوبة من الداخل. نحن لا نأكل لأن غزة لا تستطيع، نحن لا نبتلع لأن الكذب يطعم العالم، نحن لا ننسى لأن النسيان هو السلاح الأول. في الصيام نار، في السكون عاصفة، وفي الجرح عالم يعرف كيف يشفى من جديد. هذا الجسد، هذه الأنفاس، وهذا النوم المتكسر لم تعد لي، إنها تنتمي للطفل الذي مات واقفا في طابور الطعام، تنتمي للأم التي حفرت بيديها لانتشال ابنها، تنتمي للغناء الذي كنا نقرع به الغابة إلى الصحراء وتقول كفى، تنتمي للجبال التي تحلم بسلام قديم كنا نعرفه. نحن نصبح نوعًا جديدًا من البشر، بشرًا يعرفون أن أي طفلًا جائعًا حتى لو كان واحدًا كافٍ ليجعل العالم غير صالح للعيش. I read it in English. The body turns into wind and the bone begins to sing. This is not hunger, this is remembering. This is the body learning again how to be earth. There is silence that comes when you no longer eat, not a silence of emptiness, but a silence of listening, a silence that says, they are starving children for bread. They are starving a people to teach the rest of us how not to forget. We are not forgetting. We are remembrance that hurts too much to swallow. There are medicines older than bullets. There are songs deeper than politics. And there are prayers that do not ask the sky for help. They become the sky. And that this is that prayer. This is that song. This is that medicine, birthed from silence, fed by fire, offered with empty hands. We are not enemies. We are not borders. We are not the maps that divide us. We are rivers breaking dams. We are women who will not kneel. We are unnamed breath that has learned how to shake tanks. This strike is not a protest. It is a prophecy. It is not weakness. It is war turned inside out. We do not eat because Gaza cannot. We do not swallow because lies are being fed to the world. We do not forget because forgetting is the first weapon. There is a fire inside the fasting. There is a storm inside the stillness. There is a world inside the wound that knows how to be whole again. This body, this breath, this broken sleep, they are no longer mine. They belong to the child who died waiting in food line. They belong to the mother who dug her son out bare hands. They belong to the drum that beats from jungle to desert saying enough. They belong to the mountains that dream of peace. So ancient, we are becoming a different kind of people, a people who know that a single hungry child makes the whole world unlivable. To those feeling the tremble, the nausea, the collapse, it means we are alive. To those dreaming of food and waking with Gaza in their throat. You are already part of this prayer. To those who cannot fast but carry the ache, you are the fire too. Hold us as we go through. May the weapon be held, may Gaza rise, and her rising may we all come home to the sacred work of feeding one another without fear. This is not the end. This is the undoing of what should never have begun. This is the day the hunger speaks louder than the empire. This is the prayer that will be answered by God's and by us. Thank you. Thank you, Written Hebrew. Gil is with me here, one of our supporters, and today he joined the hunger strike, and he will read it in Hebrew as well. Thank you, Gil.
היום השישי לשביתת הרעב. הגוף מדלדל לרוח, העצמות מתחילות לשיר. זה איננו רעב, זהו זיכרון. זהו הגוף הלומד מחדש איך להיות אדמה. יש דממה שבאה כשהפסקת לאכול. לא דממה של ריק, אלא דממה של הקשבה. דממה שאומרת, הם מרעיבים ילדים בשביל לחם. הם מרעיבים עם שלם כדי ללמד את כולנו איך לא לשכוח. אנחנו לא שוכחים. אנחנו הזיכרון, שכואב מדי לבלוע. יש תרופות שקדומות מהכדורים. יש שירים שעמוקים מהפוליטיקה. יש תפילות שלא פונות לשמיים לעזרה, הן הופכות לשמיים. זו התפילה הזו, זה השיר הזה. זו התרופה הזו שנולדה מן הדממה, הוזנה באש והוגשה בידיים ריקות. אנחנו לא אויבים, אנחנו לא גבולות, אנחנו לא המפות שמחלקות אותנו. אנחנו הנאורות השוברים סחרים, אנחנו נשים שלא קוראות ברך, אנחנו הנשימה הלא חמושה שלמדה איך להרעיל טנקים. השביתה הזו איננה מחאה, היא נבואה, היא איננה חולשה, היא מלחמה שפנתה פנימה. אנחנו לא אוכלים כי עזה אינה יכולה. אנחנו לא בולעים כי העולם מואכל שקרים. אנחנו לא שוכחים כי שכחה היא הנשק הראשון. יש אש בתוך הצום, יש שערה בתוך הדממה, יש עולם בתוך הפצע, שיודע איך לשוב ולהיות שלם. הגוף הזה, הנשימה הזו, השינה השבורה הזו, כבר אינם שלי. הם שייכים לילד שמת בתור לאוכל. הם שייכים לאמא שחפרה את בנה בידיים חשופות. הם שייכים לטוף שהפועם מן הג'ונגל ועד המדבר ואומר די. הם שייכים להרים החולמים על שלום. עתיק כל כך שהוא מטיל אימה על נשיאים. אנחנו נעשים עם אחר. עם שיודע שילד רעב אחד עושה את כל העולם בלתי ניתן למחיה. לאלו שמרגישים את הרעידה, הבחילה, הקריסה, זה סימן שאתם חיים. לאלו שחולמים על אוכל ומתעוררים עם עזה בגרונם, אתם כבר חלק מהתפילה הזו. לאלו שאינם יכולים לצום, אך נושאים את הכאב, אתם גם האש. החזיקו בנו כשנעבור דרך זה. הלוואי והנשק יושבת. הלוואי שעזה תקום ובקומתה, הלוואי שכולנו נשוב הביתה, לעבודת הקודש של להאכיל את איש את רעהו בלי פחד. זה איננו הסוף, זהו הפירוק של מה שלעולם לא היה צריך להתחיל. זהו היום בו הרעב מדבר בקול רם יותר מהאימפריה. זו התפילה שתהנה בידי אלים ובידינו.
Thank you, dearest servant. Thank you. I invite us to always care for ourselves and to hold ourselves and to remember all the ones that needs us, the people of Gaza, the hostages, the prisoners, all those who are held by these oppression systems that continues to take away the joy of life from us and from our children, the minimal needs of safety and security and normality of life. Dana,
Yeah,
thank
maybe
you.
for those who just joined to say another sentence of us inviting
Mm-hmm.
that, because we feel it's so important to look at the structures that are behind this dehumanization and this disconnection that we're witnessing here, the othering. So the structures of white supremacy, of racism, of colonialism that have spread around the world and that create in us so much separation that we can look at Gaza and look at the children there in a different way that we look to other children, our own children. This is a product of systemic conditions and how we can exit them, how we can move with them. So yeah, this is uh, why we're here, why we practice being in our heart, coming together, and we invited Dana to bring us some practices of practicing that together.
Mm-hmm. As we, as I don't know, some of you are new here in SATYAM homeland 6 days ago, we decided to start a hunger strike. This is part of our community. This is part of our nonviolent resistance. This is what we have learned also from nonviolent dialogue and communication of many years with many of the ones who are here, also with us. This is a strike to say, yes, we will stand up, we will speak up, and we will choose all of us again against all oppression systems for us to understand, yes, it is the Israeli occupation, yes, it is the genocide, yes, it is the siege on Gaza, but it is a global oppression as well. Everyone, everywhere is now being oppressed. Even the Americans sending their tax money to all what is causing now the genocide. Even parts of Europe that is still supporting what is happening. We are all being oppressed, not to see each other, oppressed from our truth, oppressed from acknowledging and honoring and remembering that yes, honoring each other is what will actually bring us to healing. We are also here to say you don't have to choose between us. We are at a time in history. You don't have to choose between us. Please don't choose between us. Please don't repeat the cycle of the oppressed becoming the oppressor. Please, we do it right this time and we strike for everyone. We choose everyone alike against the system, never against each other, never against each other's souls, nor children, nor women, nor brothers, nor sisters, nor because of racism for any reason of religion or color. This is what keeps it going. So it's not only here, it's everywhere. It's also in Iran now, in Israel, it's in Yemen, it's in Sudan, Syria, Lebanon, it's in Iraq. All these systems, all these weapons are affecting us, thinking they will let us forget. And we did. And now we remember again. And this is the invitation to all of you. We honor you. This is why we started this community, is to show what does it look like when we are free in Palestine, Israel. What does it look like when I say I love you? I love you. I'm against the oppression system. I love you when we are all worth it. I love you when we need to open all these borders for all of us to drink from the same river because of the abundance of life. And we are here doing it as a community, holding it, doing retreats, doing talking, dialogue, grief circles, trauma. We are here doing everything and we invite you to come water the real roots again and join, honor yourselves and to honor each other. And I honor you each and every one of you. Thank you. We say thank you. And Dana, my dear, the reason to the woman I am is all the women around me. The reason to why I can stand and speak and strike here in Palestine, in the West Bank, the reason I can talk about the freedom is because of the community that supported me for 13 years, is because of the women that believed and continued to show up, and the men that came and led in togetherness and faith. And Dana is a long, long time partner, the one that steps in barely with two questions, comes with just a faith. When she hears us say something, hey Dana, we're starting SATYAM, and she starts looking, how can she support this to come true for us to heal and be free? And we say, Dana, the hunger strike. And again, she steps in, goes to all her heart and soul to come. And today, we wish to bring to you also her and her knowledge, her healing, and the precious also space that Colombia carries also in us, and the remembrance of the narrative, connecting it to all her knowledge and all of the patterns that we need to undo in order for us to truly heal Palestinians and Jewish and all humans alike in every part of Mother Earth. Thank you, Dana. We give it to you and we honor you and we are here with you, love. Thank you.
And just presencing that she's also fasting with us. So
Yes, yes. Thank you, love.
just the practical thing that if you don't want to be recorded, it just means turn your camera off when you speak, and then your image won't be in. So you will not be recorded, just participating.
Thank you. Thank you, Mai. Thank you, David. I already feel how full the space is after prayer, after words. And I just really want to give us maybe a minute of silence before I speak. And if you want, you can maybe look around. You don't need to be in camera, just letting that which was shared sink. I think it's impossible almost to take it all in. It's a lot. And yet allowing the body to catch up a bit with the feelings. Hmm. Hmm. And in the spirit of being in silence together, I'm really dearly inviting us to pause together, to remember we're still together. We're pausing for a moment in stillness. Hmm. And if you want, in that pausing and stillness, maybe doing whatever supports your body to remember that it can pause in this moment. Maybe taking a breath if you want to relax your eyelids, close your eyes, or place your hands somewhere in your body. In your experience as a human being living in the body you have, maybe you know some ideas of how this body likes to stop. Maybe making a sound, sighing, or moving a bit. Mm. And in that pausing together, maybe if you want, also remembering the ground in your own way, in your own perfect way, saying hi to this floor that's holding you, that's hosting you. Maybe if you want to go beyond, also beyond the floor into the ground, into feeling, imagining this piece of earth, and saying very, very consciously, hi, thank you for holding me, thank you for holding us. Imagining these other spaces and bodies being held by other pieces of this generous being, this other body that we call Earth, allowing us to do whatever we need to do to remember that in this moment we can be held, dropping your weight. Mm. And if it feels authentic, placing your hands somewhere in your body, supporting yourself to feel this matter, this piece of earth as well, this body of earth that you are, with its own inner waters, its volcanoes, its fires, its winds, to also greet this land in your body. Sensing your senses, inviting your senses. Maybe what do you taste inside of you? For those of us fasting still, maybe there is a taste that you taste aside from water. The touch of your skin, of your clothes, of the surface where you're standing or sitting or laying. What are the sounds around you? And if you want, also with your eyes, in case your eyes were closed, slowly opening them on your pace, allowing yourself to look around the space where you are. I call this nurturing your animal being. Like imagine you're a dog, a cat, just looking around for a moment. Also really using your neck, your hips to look what's behind you. Where's the door? Where's the window? Even if it feels silly, maybe you want to try it out. Maybe it makes a difference. Orienting yourself. Where are you? And then just very lovingly coming towards your gadget, your screen, your computer, phone. And also taking a second to orient yourself here as well in the space. Like with what might be moving. I imagine many of us are holding, carrying quite a lot, remembering each other. Yeah, we're also not holding it alone. If it's available to you, my invitation would be to open your mic, even if it's noisy, to give each other like a acoustic remembering of, yeah, maybe you want to make a sound, even if it's a little bit tiny sound. Ah, just to remember, like to really remind our bodies, this is not a movie. Aha, there's also other people. If you want, once again, making a sound. Mm. 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 Thank you. You can close your mics once again so you can follow my voice better. And just yeah, already opening the space in the reminding that I think I cannot meet you only from up here, but that part of my life purpose is to remember human beings, how not separate we are from animals. how these bodies are also carrying very, very dear information and also power. So, in the spirit of being bodies, I really, throughout the time that we have, invite you to check in the discomfort that we're anyway in, whether you're fasting or not, but in the tension of that comes up when we choose to be brave enough to burn in the lightning of reality. Yet I can practice to check if my body is comfortable. Like, you're really welcome to check constantly. Is my body okay? Do I need a pause? Do I need a breath? Introducing some inspirations. This is what we're moving right now, and the topics that I will be bringing might bring heaviness and might bring grief and might bring anger and emotions. And I am not expecting us to feel it all. Once again, this is just way too big to be felt immediately now, everything. But I'm inviting us all together to remember we're doing this together. We're just taking little bites. We're allowing to expand in that discomfort so that together we can support each other to really, truly practice to be home, meet each other in the discomfort. I think many of us have learned over life or lifetimes that, pretty much being a human means expanding in what's uncomfortable and being able to be there, be able to be in relationship with existence, with whatever will bring. So if you want, take a breath with this, make a sound, make a move. Is my voice tone good enough for you to follow? Beautiful, because I do feel a bit weak, so I notice I am speaking softly. You can anytime interrupt me. Anytime you can interrupt me if you don't hear me, if it's too quick, if it's too slow. I tend to be very slow. So I will be also constantly checking if you can follow me. So when I was asked by SATYAM if I can imagine bringing something, I am delighted to offer my support to something that really makes my heart beat. And we thought of decoloniality almost like this introduction into what do we speak of. I think maybe some of you don't even really know, like, what is this? And I don't want to give you a definition, but at least give us a bit of a collective introduction into what is this. I think David also gave quite a few inputs on why is this relevant in the current situation. But what I can bring in is also in my personal devotion, really sensing how sacred activism, how non-violent resistance are deeply, deeply, deeply interwoven with decoloniality in the hope and in the constant practice of weaving prayer, social justice, embodiment together in holding this prayer of bringing politics back to the sacred. If you want, take a breath. Maybe even imagine like going back or going forward. I don't even think it's linear, but the kind of politics that is in service of all of life, that's devoted to honoring that everyone, everything is holy. So I just bow to life showing me this path of coming together with politics cannot be here. Embodiment or spirituality can also not be up there, but bringing everything actually together and remembering this is all existence. This makes a little bit sense what I say. Like, can you follow me? Mm, so, in the spirit of decoloniality or introducing decoloniality, I feel I first need to speak of coloniality. Um, Maybe some of you have heard, read, there is a rising also movement around decolonizing. Let's decolonize this, decolonize this, decolonize this. And I fully celebrate it. And yet, sometimes it's not so clear, what are we decolonizing ourselves from? What is this at all? Um, so I want to bring in coloniality into the space. And just for you to know, I am not going to make a lecture. You don't need to make notes. I'm inviting more the spirit, something like storytelling. Storytelling in the sense of, I am not here to give you an objective definition of stuff that we need to understand and make notes, and then this is the reality. But rather inviting all of your bodies, yourself, your heart, your mind, your spirit, to make yourself open and comfortable enough to receive a story. Anytime, taking a breath, making a sound, making a move, swallowing some saliva, taking a few sips of water. So, bringing in coloniality, there is a story that I've been trying, or that I've been exploring, or that came to me in trying to understand being active in grieving the colonial and post-colonial impact of human history. I've been trying to understand what happened, and to understand not in terms of read books and see dates and say who is guilty for what, but on a deeper level that I hope you can come with me, of sensing what happened. And again, inviting us all together to remember we're doing this together in a sort of like collective imaginary journey while I speak. You can make yourself comfortable. You can also relax your eyelids if you want. In the imagining, maybe even remembering, I don't think that sometimes memory and imagination might be the same. But in this collective imaginary remembrance, maybe you want to travel very, very, very far in time, far into an ancient, ancient, ancient time. And it doesn't matter when or where was it. Just imagine some time that feels really, really, really far away. And maybe you can even ask your cells, your muscles, your bones, the stones that you have inside, the ancient stones of minerals that have been for millennia on this planet Earth. Maybe you ask the bone of your ear if they can also remember that time really far away before history, where us humans were truly part of life, part of existence, reading existence patterns, being part of cycles, not meaning everything was perfect, and yet there was that embodied, deeper knowing, a humbleness in these human bodies of not knowing, of existence is wild and heart aching, and there is life and there is death and there's everything in between, and we're part of it. Where there was no wrong, right, with us, without us, against us, with me, was more like, and this is an imagination, right? Like, we don't know when. You can make your exercise if you want, imagining this. And if you want, for a moment, just taking like a breath, a moment of silence with this possible imagination. And just together moving closer towards our time, a few, maybe decades, or maybe centuries, or maybe millennia ago, were not for everyone, but for some people, a word came into being with the, say, language. Words started shaping the way we would see the world. And then one word came up and people started using it, which is the word nature. Nowadays, there is hundreds, if not thousands, of indigenous tongues that don't have and don't need a word for nature. And yet, quite a lot of languages of our ancestry came up with a word that would separate, that would define the human from the non-human. Let's take a breath. You want, make a sound. Yeah. Can you follow me with this story? Yeah. So we're here remembering, imagining, maybe the blood is helping you to remember, maybe the waters that have been for millennia on this earth happen to be now just in your body. In this moment where the word nature comes into being, many indigenous ancestors call this the original sin. Maybe there's people who have heard this concept before. And the original sin would not be the word nature, but yet the original thought of we are better than. Take a breath if you want. Feel the ground if you want. Maybe remember doing this together. I am better than, we are better than, as the original thought, original sin. And with the we're better than, suddenly there is civilization and wildness. There is human being and nature. And with it, civilized and wild. And with it, suddenly, nature, what we now call nature, life, what we now call also nature, existence, what we now call nature, needs to be tamed, controlled, owned, measured. Us humans, humanity needs to be protected from the wild. Let's take a breath. And maybe, if you want, feeling also that back, not only generally people, but coming also into these bodies separating mind, body, separating intellect from intuition. Suddenly, ideas and theories and facts are better than dreams, imaginations, prayers, poems. Once again, take a breath. Maybe look around. Mm. With this original thought of we're better than, the line continues to be drawn into mind is better than body, intellect is better than intuition. And suddenly, a big part of our beings, just as earth, just as nature, needs to be controlled, tamed, oppressed, ignored. Taking a breath there. Mm. And just following this line that's being drawn to split humans from existence, we go also closer to our timelines, to our time, a past that's really not so ancient, where this original thought continued to develop towards we are better than other humans. There is humans who are more civilized. There are humans who are more wild. There are humans who are more human. There are humans who are less human. There are humans suddenly in this line who are worthy. There are humans who are less worthy. There are humans who are worthless. Just taking a moment, swallowing saliva, taking a few breaths, expanding in the grief, in the anger, in the confusion, in the boredom, in the numbness, whatever it is that you are at. Remembering the group. Welcoming the heartache if there's any. Mm. So in a very recent history, if we speak of colonization, it's 700 years. It's really not so much. Suddenly, a specific kind of human being being a synonym of human. The European, white, male, intellectual, and you name it, able body becoming the standard for human. And with this, suddenly, ethnicity, ancestry, even religion, even the land that gave birth to us starts being a question of species, question of are they human? Are those further away from this human standard human? And wherever you are, I really invite you to make a sound. See if your body needs a change. Check the space, nurture your animal being. Where's the window? Where's the door? What's behind you? even if it feels silly. Your body remembers that it's also an animal that wants to move and swallow saliva and make sounds. If here I would have a dog, it would probably do whatever it needs to do to bow to its existence. Mm. If it's available to you, once again, opening your mic, giving each other also the memory of there's also others there.
Mm.
Ah. Mm.
Mm. Mm.
If you also want the visual of, yes, there's also other places, other humans, other sounds. Thank you. You can close your mics if you want. You don't need to. Mm. And just for this moment, I want to invite you to see around if you have the gift and privilege to have something, someone that's beyond human. Maybe there's a plant or there is water, or I see here some cotton. I have, maybe there's something. And if there's nothing in your space, if everything is human made, at least you always have air. So you can be for a moment with that air. And taking one pause together, like a minute, silence, letting this story sink with this being beyond human. Mm. Maybe you take a breath with this being. Mm. Coming back towards your attention, towards the space. So, first of all, I want to give my gratitude to you being open to come along this journey, listen to this story. For me, like I continue to explore this story every time. It's heart aching. Um, I'm not expecting you to take it as the only truth, and that's what happened. I really want to remind this that it might be one of the narratives that at least has supported me to try to make sense of the paradigm I'm born into, also as like a body that's a historical result of the colony, of having European, African, and indigenous ancestry in one. Mm. So, coming back to decoloniality, I hope I can give some spark of hope in all of this. Of if we remember coloniality as a way of being in this world that's limiting the vast human existence and life to the realm of thought, to the realm of rationality, of what we now call science. Maybe you already sense that the base for human life then is separation, living split from, first of all, self. What happens to a species, to humanity, if the only piece that's guiding is this. If written language, if we call it science, if like the way politics is done, limiting the human existence to this and forgetting this and this and this, what happens? And at least I witness what happens. And from this base of separation, of being split with my own self, how can I truly, truly, truly experience connection with others, with community? How can I experience connection with the beyond human, with ancestry, with future, with how can I hold the next generations in my being because I know I'm not separate to existence? How would we act as humans if we're carrying the lessons of our ancestors and our prayers for the future generations with us in every action, choice, decision? Take a breath. Mm. So there's a word that serves me to describe that the system where we're all part of, and all I mean Western people, everything I'm saying, I'm also on the other side, deeply honoring and celebrating that there is indigenous peoples in the global South that survived the brutality, survived. There is songs that were forbidden, there were languages that were forbidden, dances that was deadly to dance, and yet bodies of culture, Black, indigenous people of color, kept them safe. And yet to the Western parts of us, how can we embody a different way of being that's saying no to this separation? Knowing that the result of such separation, if I'm already this split from my being, the only result is a system based on fear. Fear of not being good enough, fear of not being enough, fear of not belonging, fear of being alone. And the brutality that we're saying yes to in order to perform belonging. When actually there is this longing to remember, like bring the members back into I am life. Remembering to my core that everything, everyone has a spirit. Even if my ancestors forgot, at some point in time, ours or my ancestors forgot that everything has spirit. Thank you. And I choose to remember. Let's take a breath. Mm. So, in the introduction of decoloniality as a living practice, without defining it, I hope this storytelling gives you some ideas of what I mean when I speak of decoloniality, which is a constant, daily, constant choice and practice of bringing all my parts in, and from that place, remembering we are part of existence. Everything has spirit. How do we move from here? Mm. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you, Dana. Mm. 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 You speak and you remind me of one of the reasons I am again here. when I was in the violent resistance and my mom found out. She came to me also with her anger and she said, if you truly want to free Palestine and women, then go study. Go study. Maybe become a psychologist. And I hear you. And yes, we also grow in a place where things starts from the heart and then logic comes, but it moves. Starts from the heart and then logic comes. And then I went to Germany and many other countries to study. I was very blessed. And I could meet how logic first needs to come and then the heart maybe follows. And yes, it is again to remember it's the opposite. The heart begins and the brain understands how to make it of more connection to others. Otherwise, when we separate logic from our spiritual being, then we are in this again and again. Thank you, dear. We would love to invite to the rooms, maybe here if there is a questions also. We invite you to bring your questions, to bring your hearts. If there is a questions to ask, then maybe write it in the chat room, if something now with Dana, what's happening for you. We would love for you to go to the chicken rooms, be with each other, bring your voice, and allow other voices to also come for us to continue with this. It is a hunger strike and a political also thing, but yet this is also the inner work that we all need to do in order for us to do the hunger strike from an authentic space and a place of our nature, as Dana said. Dana and David, would you like to add anything before we do?
Um, maybe Dana, if you have an inspiration for the breakout room.
Thank you, David. Yes.
I would really invite to take this space, that generous space, the gift of being witnessed by 2 or 3 other people, to share how is this impacting, how this storytelling is moving, how is it transforming, moving something in you. And maybe you want to practice to not only speak from this of, yeah, I read this book and I think this theory might not be so correct, but maybe, emotions, intuitions, memories, bodily sensations, also bringing your whole self into that sharing.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So
Thank you.
we wish to hear 2 or 3 voices. Just to bring something of what you discovered or what you felt back to the community, so we can.
I can say something.
Yeah, and I will time just to let us be try to be in 1 minute so we can hear a few voices. So
Yeah.
welcome, Michal.
I can say is that I felt the deepest sadness in this with Dana. It was so touching for me, and I didn't feel anything like that deep since the beginning of this 7 October thing. So I really thank you, Dana. Really appreciate it, and yeah.
Thank you, Michal.
Not Michal. I'm just in Michal's house.
You are Hadassia, of course.
Yes.
Just reading the words. Sorry.
And
Thank
that's
you.
Habibti. Thank you.
I'm happy to say something as well. That's
Please.
so in our breakout room, Kamada and I both, first of all, like we were discussing how blown away we were from.
Can you go a little bit closer to the
Yeah,
microphone?
can you hear me now?
It's better. Thank
All
you.
right.
Oh,
Yeah? Is that hello? Hello?
and there's indications that maybe to raise it a little bit more. Can you?
Yeah, I'm trying. Is that any better?
Yes.
All right, good. I'm yelling right at the laptop.
Thank
So
you.
Tamara and I were we're discussing first of all how powerful what Donna said was, and like she introduced some concepts of ways of describing colonialism that I hadn't heard before, like the concept of inventing the word nature and how that immediately creates a separation in our minds of people from the world and environment was a really beautiful and compelling way of presenting that. I think that that can get through to anyone. And a thing that we both agreed on was this sense of how kind of like there's this deep innate sense of 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 like a sense of loss from that separation, but also how that connection to our ancestors in the past are still there. And it made me personally think of, like I have European descent and European background primarily, and I have like there's a in terms of distance in time, that separation from my ancestors is very far, right? Because like Europeans have been quote unquote civilized for so long that, that any connection to ancestry is such a distant memory. But still, that spark or that connection is still there, and we could both feel it during Donna's speech. Yeah, so that was just extremely profound for me. Yeah, I think that's very powerful stuff.
Yeah. I feel there's such a deep medicine in that and what you're saying. Really touching.
Yeah, no, also we'd love to hear you. Mm. Thank you, Dave.
I was struck when Dana said that the word nature, yeah, we separated ourselves from nature, and then I noticed when I use the word nature, for me it holds this longing to reconnect, to be again in this space of being one with everything. That's how I use the word nature, and what experience I make when I am in what we call nature. So it's kind of a reverse direction. Maybe it's the healing direction. And I was reminded of a poem by Mary Oliver that I read her poems so often that really give me this sense of, yeah, that it's a door for me to come back to this connection. And the poem is called How Would You Live Then? And it describes, yeah, how would we live if we would notice all of this connection again. I also noticed that I usually put myself into the or saw myself because I'm white European, I see myself in the role of the colonizers because we are the colonizers in so many places in the world. But I noticed while Dana was speaking how I am colonized as well because I'm disconnected from my spiritual roots. There is so little access to spirituality here except Christianity, which is already very colonized. So, yeah, I'm longing for a way to reconnect.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Thank
Maybe
you.
if there's one last voice for us
Mm.
today, one last heart.
I'd just like to say that as a result of what Donna was talking about, it made me feel a sense of belonging to the whole world. And that can help me with my sense of alienation and feeling separate, and to understand that we really are all connected and we all belong together. So it's a constant reminder of that. And it brings us together in knowing that what we share and not how different we are.
Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn, Yana, Dana, everyone that shared and brought their voices. And this is extremely important for us as we go into this hunger strike as well. And spaces and community like Satyam is to continuously remember that this is not a political thing we are doing. This is the real thing, connecting back to our truth, honoring each other. And through this, it will bring the change. This is why talking about it in such times, whilst hunger is striking, is to remind each other that we're doing it differently this time. That the goal this time is to reconnect, for no one to tell us which part of Mother Earth we have to belong to or we should be at, but to remind each other, just like our mothers, I belong to all of Mona. All of Mona belongs to me. All of her children, 7 children, and 9 with the one she adopted. They all belong to her, each to their uniqueness, not to separate us, but to show the beauty, to connect us like a puzzle. Each piece is crucial and each piece is different in order for it to be complete. And this is who we are. You are my pieces to continue. You are my encouragement. I do not want this hunger strike to turn us into politicians. I want us to turn us into the reminders of this truth of Mother Earth and nature, that we will show them that yes, this is the only true way, this is the only true strategy where all our beautiful needs will be met. That this Mother Earth was prepared for us, with us. This is the hunger strike for Gaza. This is the hunger strike for our lands. This is the hunger strike for all of you, all of you, all of us, all of us, to remember not to turn to the system, but to continue with this spirit in order to truly make a change. And even if we are 16, and even if we are 1600 thousands, this power is stronger than what we created. It created us. So staying with the truth is much more powerful than 100 politicians right now sitting. And to this, we invite you to continue to come, to continue. We will share the links also now on the chat for you to follow. There is the map as well. We would love for you to connect on the map, put where you are from, to honor you and to see you, and for others to see you and to connect Mother Earth again in togetherness. So maybe one day we will open it and it's all full of these thoughts. We are all united, and hunger has ended, and genocide has stopped, and hostages are walking back home, and the prisoners are being freed for all of us. For all of us. Please continue to follow, open the chat now, go into the links, and invite your families, invite your friends. Let's start to heal from home and come to the Zoom and go out roaring of what we know of our truth. And for you to also continue to support this community in this land. We are still meeting, we are here, Palestinians and Jewish, gathering, grieving, organizing, striking, doing the campaigns. We invite you to come, to join, to tell us where you are at, and invite us to also join you can also invite us to come for a talk with your community, synagogue, a church, wherever you are at, university, in order for us to really also honor you and bring the work together to understand only together, all of us, can this actually truly happen. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining. David, if you need to add something.
yeah, just mentioning that we
Mhm.
will meet again here in Satyam in the next week, and you're all welcome.
Mm.
And we'll have a retreat to be together in empathy, in listening, in grieving, and also in empowering each other to become active and inspire each other. And
Yeah.
maybe we close today again with a prayer or a song
We
from some of you.
we would love to invite one of you to close it with you with a prayer or a song in your language, in English, to bring you all also to hold us in this sacred closing. And we look forward to see you on Monday with us. Thank you. Please, if someone would be willing, we would love for you to do it.
Yes, maybe it's good to mention we will pause tomorrow with the Zoom and we will continue on Monday
Yes.
to give us
Yes.
a break.
Yes. Anyone?
I have a song that I learned in summer camp, and I still sing it, if it's okay.
Yes.
It doesn't quite fit because there's a discrete number of us, but I love the spirit.
Yes.
And it's also it was 50, 60 years ago. So when they talk about man, they meant, I don't know what they meant, but and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, man. So excuse me for the, it's a little behind the times. One man's hands can't move the plow ahead. Two men's hands can't move the plow ahead. But if 2 and 2 and 50 make a million, we'll see that day come round. We'll see that day come round.
Right. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear, for blessing us with it. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Ah,
I love
thank
the
you,
up
everyone.
Zamanet.
Yes, it's a good way to close and hold us all together. And I wish to remind you to please care for yourselves, the ones that are hunger striking, whether for an hour, 2 hours, or if you're not hunger striking, to truly, truly self-care. Sit with yourself, ask for support if you need, stay together, and maybe wherever you are at, you invite people to come together. Choose spaces of empathy, spaces of togetherness, to meet, to sit, in order for all of us to walk in togetherness. And thank you. And we honor each and every one of you. And thank you for the ones writing on the chat. We honor you and we see you, and we are with you in every way that we can also support you in whatever you're doing. And we invite you to bring yourself in whatever you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.